G'day guys. This video is for GQ and GU Nissan Patrols. They have a common problem with steering wobbles between 80k's and 100k's, and hopefully this video helps someone out there. The wobbles basically occur because the back diff isn't perpendicular to the chassis. A lot of the focus though on fixing the problem is actually at the front end, and I'll go through one by one the steps you can take to fix it. The first thing you really want to do is get a wheel balance. If you've got a minor vibration, then get a wheel balance. Get them to put some lead on your wheels, and it could fix it straight up. If you've lost, say, a 10 or 15 gram bit of lead off your wheels, then that can cause a significant enough imbalance to create vibration in your steering. Panhard rod bushers, they're about $80. You can get rubber or nolethane, or probably other types as well. Most people recommend rubber. Those replaced at the front of your vehicle can significantly reduce lateral movement in the diff and in the steering, which can cause vibration as well. The big one here, and this is what the video focuses on, is changing the Swivel Hub bearing shims. Essentially, you're going to remove them from the car. That fixes 99% of GQ and GU steering wobbles straight up. And it's free. So as long as you've got some basic tools, you can try that one first, and it will fix 90% of cars. Lastly, and it's optional, is to fit a return to sender steering damper. That'll help. Particularly with the GUs, you'll get the car pulling off to the left if you're on straight road. It's not so much vibration related, more to the pull problem of the cars, which they pull to the left. The return to center steering damper will help even that out so that your car drives straight. With removing the bearing shims, the hub bearing shims, what you're going to do is chock your wheels. A lot of jack accidents and that happen because you don't chock your wheels, so do it. The basic tools you need is a hammer, a ratchet, and a 14mm socket. You need a screwdriver or a pry bar, a 14mm spanner, and a T-bar for taking the wheels off. What you want to do is once you've chocked it, jack it up, put your jack stands under the car. It's good to use those. Don't just rely on the jack. Don't use bricks and wood and things like that. It's not safe. And so take your wheels off, and behind the actual brake assembly is the Swivel Hub Assembly with your at the top you'll see there's a plate. It's about 7 centimeters by 7 centimeters, something like that. There's one on the top and one on the bottom. What you're going to do is use your ratchet on the top one and undo all 4 bolts, and use your hammer on each end to work this assembly out of the hole. And essentially that is the shim there. It is just like a washer or a spacer between that assembly and the actual metal swivel hub. So that shim there, most cars will have one on the top, one on the bottom of both sides. Just remove one off each to start off with. If you've got 2 on top and bottom, just take one out of each and see how you go. If there's still movement, then take another one out. If you crack this and you find you've got none on the top and then one on the bottom, or opposite, so one on the top and none on the bottom, just remove the one that you do have. That's a close up of the shim. It's just a thin metal plate really. This is the bottom, so you've got your brake caliper, you've got a plate that provides airflow and that to the brakes. You need to push a screwdriver in and pry it out the way when you're getting these 2 bolts out. So these 2 outer ones, the 14mm ratchet will cover those, but you can't get a ratchet into these. You need to use a 14mm spanner, and you also simultaneously need to put the pry bar up here and move that plate out the way, so push it towards a rotor. That'll allow the bolts to come out and the entire assembly to fall out. That's the return to center steering damper I was talking about before. That's optional. You don't need it. It's about 150 bucks. That's a tough dog return to center. It just helps pull the Panhard rod towards the center. So this is your Panhard rod, and that's the new bushes that I put in a few weeks ago. This was while I was trying to solve the problem. So the Panhard rod bushes and the return to center steering damper should help the problem, but really you need to remove these shims to do it properly, so that it doesn't come back. This is the passenger side. So you might need to push a screwdriver in on these plates to help wedge it up, but try not to dent the face of this bearing assembly, because if you put it back in, then there's going to be a small gap there, which you don't want. While you've got it out, some people replace these swivel hub bearings. You go to Nissan or get replacement ones or whatever. Also the bearing hub seal, which is just that rubber seal on there. I had a look at mine, they're pretty clean, so I just put new grease on it and cleaned their seal, and it's all good. Yeah, so that's the bush, that's your Panhard rod there again. That's the new bushes that I put in, the Nolethane ones, and the return to center steering damper. And this is what I meant by pushing that plate away so you can get your bolts in when you're putting them back together. So yeah, essentially you're getting rid of one shim from each of the 4 assemblies, and you'll see an instant improvement. There'll be no more vibration in your steering if you do that. Okay, I hope that helps everyone out there. There was no video on it, so I thought I'd make one. Good luck.